Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I really hope you're all doing okay and having a great day and an amazing week. My name is Effy and today we're doing a testing video. I haven't filmed a testing video in so long and I'm going to try my hardest to not ramble all the way through this, but we are testing the brand RELOVE by Revolution. Now this brand is a sister brand of Makeup Revolution and it's incredibly cheap. It's like, I got quite a lot of products. Admittedly some of these did come from the advent calendar that they did last year, which I did buy, but I didn't unbox on YouTube because I forgot. And I opened it up and put all the products in here and then bought anything else that I needed. But honestly, everything was like, I would say everything was less than a £5. So we're going to put all of this on my face and see if it's any good. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you like my content, please consider subscribing. I put up 2 videos a week and it's always makeup content, so if that sounds like your type of thing, then this is the place for you. But other than that, let's go on with the video. So we're going to start with primer, and this is the H2O Hydrate Primer. This did come in the advent calendar last year. I would say, when I opened the advent calendar, I was pleasantly surprised. It had a lot of different products in there, and I was just really impressed with it. So if you feel like picking that up this year, if they do one again, that would be good. Okay, it's a clear gel. It does have a slight scent to it, nothing too crazy. It feels like water, honestly. It's so thin. I can't tell what the scent is, but I can definitely smell it on my face. So if you're not a scent person, this probably wouldn't be for you. I have just got the website up so I can check prices. This is £4, so we're starting off below £5. It does feel nice. The scent has now gone. I can still smell it a little bit on my hands. It has given a little bit of a tack. It was a really thin formula, felt really nice, but let's see how foundation sits on top of it. And for foundation, I picked up the Super Serum foundation in the shade F3. They do have another one that's like a super matte foundation, however I picked up this one because I love the Revolution Pro foundation drops and I'm hoping this is relatively similar. This costs £5 and they have 14 shades of this. It goes from F0.2 to F18, but I will say it does skip a lot of shades. I got F3 because I normally get F2, but I think that's a bit too light for me, so we'll give this one a go. As always with the new foundation, I'm going to do half my face with a sponge and half my face with a brush. This comes on a dropper. Oh, it's a bit hard to get out. Oh, really hard to get out. Okay, it's not picked up anything. Okay, now we've got some. That's really difficult to get out the tube. I'm going to do this half with a sponge. That has given a decent amount of coverage. I think my cheeks still look a little bit pink. So it's not given like full coverage. You can still see my spots on my chin, but you can see the difference particularly on my forehead. I think the colour match is pretty good. It looks good on camera. It looks fine. I will probably have to just fix it with like concealer and stuff. Let's do the other side with a brush. What I will say, the side with the brush seems to have a more dewy finish, whereas the side with the sponge has a more matte finish. I'm just going to go over my whole face with my sponge just to even it out. Okay, that's evened it out. I will say the foundation does have like a relatively glowy finish anyway. It's not a completely matte foundation. I would say in comparison to the foundation drops feel a lot nicer. They give a lot more luminosity to the skin, but this is quite nice. This is just a slightly more matte version. You can't really feel it on your skin. I can't tell if there's a scent to it, but if there is, you can't smell it once it's on your skin. It's obviously not covered my spots or anything because it's a dropper foundation. It says hyaluronic acid foundation. Does it have a coverage level? No. But overall it's quite nice. It looks really nice. I don't know the price difference between the foundation drops and this foundation, but what I would say is I would prefer to buy, if I was out of both of them, I would buy the foundation drops from Revolution Pro. If I ran out of those and only had these, I wouldn't rush to repurchase the foundation drops. I would stick to these until this runs out and then repurchase the foundation drops. Does that make sense? Hopefully. But yeah, I think this looks quite nice, to be honest. Now we have concealer. This is the Super Concealer Cover Sculpt Contour, and I got the shade C1. Now this is £3.50 and comes in 15 shades, and it goes from C0.2 up to C20. Again, it does skip a lot of shades in between, but let's pop this on. It has a little like heart-shaped doe foot, which is quite nice. C1 is the normal shade that I go for in their concealers, so this should work pretty well for me, but it's not going to be the right shade to cover any spots, so I'm just going to leave my spots, to be honest. Actually, I'm going to put a little bit on this spot just to see how much coverage it has, and I'm just going to use a sponge for this. That blended out so nicely, particularly under my eyes is where I noticed. It just blended out really easily. It does have quite a thin formula, so it feels nice under my eyes. Like, I can't feel anything heavy. I wouldn't say it has tons of coverage. You can still see my spot a little bit, but honestly for everyday wear I think this would be fine. It does have enough coverage. It has my under eyes look a lot better. It's not looking, let me just get up close and personal. My skin doesn't look dry. I will say it is creasing under my eyes a little bit, but I'll powder down in a moment. Overall, this isn't bad. For £3.50 as well, like, you'll be hard pushed to find a cheaper concealer at the drugstore nowadays. So if you are looking for something super cheap, I think this would work pretty well. Obviously it's not perfect, but £3.50. Oh, I forgot, I just found this in the box. This is the Glam Balm Lip Balm. It's in Coconutty. This came in the advent calendar. I wouldn't have chosen coconut personally, but oh well. Oh, it's the good type of coconut. I can smell it through the seal. It's the good type of coconut. I like the really sweet coconut, a bit like the Bum Bum Cream from Sol de Janeiro. So I'm just going to pop some of this on my lips. Oh, it's very thick. Very thick. Smells amazing. There we go, that's on. I'm not a massive fan of the design of the packaging. I don't like having to use my finger, and I'm not just going to rub this on my lips. So yeah, not my favourite packaging. Scent, amazing. Can still smell it now it's on my lips. If you're not a scent person, this isn't for you. And I'm pretty sure all the scents they do are quite fruity, so maybe try and find one that you do like. This is clear. Some of them do have a tint. I don't know how strong the tint is. I can't comment on that. But this is quite nice, feels quite nice. Although it came out the tube really thick, it melts into your lips a little bit and now just kind of feels like a lip oil. So we're going to powder down. This is the HD Super Matte Setting Powder. I don't know if there's a shade. I think it just says Universal. To be fair, it looks like it has a very slight tint to it, but nothing too crazy. And this was £3. They do have pressed powders, but I fancied picking up their loose powder. It is quite small. Obviously for the price, that's fine. But I don't know, I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger. It's not white. I think it has a very slight pink tint to it. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, it does say HD Super Matte. So I'm expecting my skin to be matte, and it is. It definitely is. I'm just looking at my forehead because I have normal skin. So that means that it doesn't get too oily, it typically doesn't get too dry either. If a foundation, concealer, powder, whatever is going to look dry, it's going to be on my forehead. I can't remember what I tested recently. The Rimmel Kind and Free foundation, I did like a quick testing video over on TikTok, and that looked bad on my forehead. So I'm checking my forehead. What I will say is, it looks matte. I don't think it looks dry. Like, you can tell that my forehead has been mattified, but I don't think it looks dry. I think it looks on the edge of being dry, and I reckon if I use too much powder it would look dry, but it looks fine. I would prefer it to look a little bit less matte, but that's just personal preference. But on the whole it looks pretty good. I'm just going to check around my nose and mouth. I wouldn't say it looks dry, I wouldn't say it looks cakey. Again, a bit like my forehead, you can see that it's mattified, you can see that it's drier, but it doesn't look dry in my opinion. My under eyes are creasing quite a bit, but that happens, they crease. yeah, overall, it's not my favourite powder. But for the price, which I'm going to keep saying throughout this video, for the price it's really good. And as much as I said it was small, this would actually be really good for travelling. Like if I'm going on holiday, I'd rather take this than like some massive powder. So yeah. And as for the colour, I actually don't think it has a tint to it. If it does, it's ever so slight. Obviously I have very pale skin. I can't speak for if you have a darker skin tone. I don't know how this would look on you. It might look ashy, I'm not sure. But on me, I can't see a tint. Now it's time to bring some colour back to my face, and we'll start with blush. This was the only blush I can find other than the cheek and lip tints. Please let me know if that changes. But this is the Duo Blush and Highlighter in the shade Sweet. I ordered this online. I thought the colour would be a bit brighter, so we'll see how it goes. And these are £3, and I will say these are very similar. Sorry, itchy nose. These are very similar to the e.l.f. Bite Size Face Duos, but they're bigger. So we're going to try the blush. I don't think I'm going to try the highlighter because I think it looks a little bit dark for me, and I do actually have a different highlighter to test. That actually looks really nice. It is very subtle. It is a lot less pigmented than I would normally go for. However, I do think for work and every day, this would be lovely. It's given a very soft something to it. And as much as I don't think I would use the highlighter, what I will say is I reckon you could mix the two shades. There is kick up in the pan. If that bothers you, that bothers you, but it doesn't bother me. I really like this, and also I feel like I could put loads and loads and loads of this on and it wouldn't look too crazy, and I do tend to go a little bit crazy with my blush, so that's actually a good thing for me. Now time for bronzer, and I picked up the Super Bronzer Powder in the shade Desert. It looks like this. It does have the word bronzer embossed in it, which I quite like. It looks a little bit orange. And I did make a mistake. Some of these products that I bought myself, I bought in store. Some of them I ordered online and they arrived yesterday. When I went into the store, I accidentally picked up this, which is the Super Matte Powder in the shade Warm Beige. This is a pressed powder for darker skin tones. I hate doing this because it is genuinely an honest mistake, and I firmly believe that if products are made for darker skin tones, people like me, with my complexion, shouldn't be picking them up because it is hard enough, from what I've heard. Obviously it's not my experience, but I've heard from people with dark skin tones that it is difficult enough to find products that work for them, and for someone like me who has the entire makeup world catered for me, I shouldn't be picking these up. So I am going to put this in a giveaway, and if I have a giveaway winner who has a darker skin tone than me, I will send this to them, because I truly hate doing that. It was an honest mistake. It just looked like a bronzer to me and I picked it up. So I'm going to give that to somebody else, and then I will actually use the bronzer. This was £3 and they have 8 shades, and it looks like they go pretty dark. That looks pretty dark. Whether it actually looks like that in person, I have no idea, but it does look like they have a decent range. I don't like this as much. I don't mind this shade, however it is a bit warm, and it almost looks a little bit reddish on my nose particularly is where I'm noticing that. I know that you shouldn't use bronzer to contour your nose. I don't care, I do it anyway. It's not too pigmented, which I'm incredibly thankful for. You can build it up, however I just think it looks like a touch patchy. Yeah, I think the shade is quite good for pale skin because it is very pale. It's definitely more of a bronzer than a contour. Yeah, I don't hate it. It's a good enough product. It does work relatively well for the price. Of course, it's fine. I will still use it. It's just not my favourite. However, I do like how pale it is. It is a very good bronzer for pale skin tones. It's just not perfect for me, but I do like it and I'll keep using it. I'm not going to get rid of it. Now for highlight, obviously I do have the one in the blush and bronzer, blush and highlight duo, but this one is the Super Highlight Highlighter in the shade Shine. I can't remember if this came in the advent calendar or if I bought it separately, because I know that there were highlighters in the advent calendar. There was also a bronzer, but it was too dark for me. There were highlighters in there, but I can't remember if the two shades were too light for me or if this was one of them, I can't remember. But it looks like this. I actually quite like the pattern on it. It looks quite nice. It is a yellowy gold highlight. I'm sort of hoping that this is similar to the MUA, what are they called? Shimmer whatever, in the shade Iridescent Gold. It kind of looks like it, so I'm hoping. And this was £3 and they have 7 shades. So the price is really good. But I also think the MUA highlights are like £3.50 maybe? It's looking very, very subtle. I do like the shade. It's not giving me a cast. If anything, it might be a bit too light. Sort of look a little bit like white here. But it's a pretty good shade. It's just very, very subtle. Which is fine. Some people go for that. Some people. Yeah. Oh, actually, I think once you build it up, you can get that more blinding highlight if that's what you're after. So yeah, and actually maybe it's like the MUA ones where you kind of have to get through the first layer and then you get the pigment and the shine. Opinions. It does look really nice on the skin. It really, really does. Like, I don't think it's emphasizing texture any more than highlighters do anyway. It's very blinding. I obviously have my lights on. It's still winter, obviously. It's too dark without them, so I have got my artificial lights on. But I do like it. I also like the colour of it. I always say that as a very, very pale person, it's hard to find golden highlights that are actually goldeny instead of being like white. So this one is actually really nice because I feel like it has like a white and a champagne-y gold to it. So yeah, I actually really like that. That's a really good highlighter. Would I pick it over my MUA one? No, I think I'd use them both the same interchangeably, and it is nice having another sort of like goldy highlight because the MUA one is the only one I have that's sort of exactly what I mean when I say pale gold. So it is nice to have this one as well. And they're both super cheap, which makes it even better. Now we're going to move on to the eyes, and I don't have an eye primer, so I am just quickly going to pop an eye primer on. There we go, hopefully that is all good. And I did get like 3 eyeshadow palettes in the advent calendar, which I think is really good. They all come in this sort of format with 2 bigger pans and 4 smaller pans. I've decided to use the one in the style Achieve, which is sort of like the cool toned one because I fancy cool tone shadows. I can't remember what other 2 came in the advent calendar. I'm just quickly looking up the price now. The lip balm, I don't think I said, the lip balm was £3. I don't think it's too bad for a lip balm. These eyeshadow palettes are £3. I'm pretty sure that's cheaper than the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes, and you get more shades. And they have so many of them. Honestly, so many different colourways. Yeah, for £3 I might pick up a few more. But let's give this a go. I do also have this. Are we excited? It is the Euphoric Glitter in Blue Frost. We'll see how that goes. I thought it would be more like a paste or a like gel as opposed to a glitter. But we'll see. So this is the palette. Like I said, it's not a tutorial, so I'm not going to do like an in-depth look, but I will say this is a matte shade, this is a matte shade, this is a matte shade, and the rest are shimmers. The shimmers don't look exciting to me. I will swatch the 3 shimmers. Oh, pleasantly surprised. That one, not interested, but the other 2 look quite nice. I'll just swatch them on the back of my hand. Yeah, they don't look like anything special, to be honest. They just don't. So I might just stick to the glitter thing. I might use one of them. I'll use that one on my inner corner. But I'm just going to do a super quick smoky eye using the 3 mattes, and then we will see what we're doing with the glitter. These mattes work so beautifully. If you've watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I love cool tones on my eyes. I just think they look so nice. I have grey eyes, they're quite dark. I think it looks really nice, especially also with my brow hairs, which are also quite cool toned. I love cool tones. And this is perfect. This is honestly what I've been looking for such a long time. The mattes blend beautifully together, they build up nicely, they don't overblend, you can definitely still see the difference between the three colours, and honestly the fact that this only has 3 mattes in the palette makes it so much easier, because I could literally wear this every single day and be happy with it because I would know exactly what I'm doing. I'm honestly blown away by this. I know I got it in the advent calendar, but also knowing that these are £3, £3, and they work so nicely. They're so pigmented but so blendable. Honestly, blown away, completely blown away. This is something I'm gonna use a lot. I absolutely love this palette so much. I highly recommend these. Highly recommend them. Now we're going to use the Euphoric glitter in the shade Blue Frost. These cost £4 on the website. I will say I am reading out their full prices, but a lot of them are discounted. And Revolution in general has a lot of like discounts and sales all the time. Oh my god. Wait till you see this. Just it is just a pot of glitter, and I'm trying not to breathe on it because I don't want to blow it everywhere, but oh my god. I'm just showing you the lid. It's gorgeous, honestly. I'm so excited to use it, but I don't want to put glitter on my eyes. Oh, what have I done? It's literally so pretty. It's got blues and pinks and green and purple. Oh, it's so pretty. I don't want to put it on my eyes. I also don't have a glitter glue. Let me have a think. Okay, so I'm back. I found my little pot of glitter glues, but honestly I have no idea how old these are. I haven't used glitter glue in a very long time, so I'm actually just going to throw these out. But thankfully, I have a spare. I have 3 of these apparently. I don't know why. I will say the Barry M glitter glue is my favourite one, to be honest, but I'm going to use this one because it's a brand new one. What I will do first actually is I'm going to use a tiny bit of this shimmer shade here and put that down as a base. There we go, just popped a little bit of that down. It actually looks really nice. I personally would top it with like a glitter, but apparently today I'm going to top it with an actual glitter. So I've picked up the only one of these brushes that I own. It's the little like foam triangle-y ones. I think these are actually really good for glitter, and they're actually really good for shimmer as well. So I'm just going to pop a tiny bit of glitter glue on the brush. I'm terrified of this. And then using the same brush, I'm not picking up the pot because I don't want to drop it all over my room. I'm just going to tap in. Oh, it's so pretty. And on it goes. So pretty. I'm not going to keep going because I will just go overboard. But what I will do is take my brush that I was using for the darkest matte shade and just pat that over the edges. I do have a little bit of fallout on my face. Let's try and brush it off. What am I doing to myself today, honestly? I really like it. I don't think it goes with the look particularly well, but I don't care, to be honest. I really don't care. What am I going to do now? I'm going to very quickly run the same matte shades along my lower lash line. Mascara. This is the Long Lash Lengthening Mascara in black. I do also have a blue mascara, which I actually might genuinely put on my lower lashes, just because I think it will match the glitter quite nicely. This is £3, of course everything's £3, and the blue one I have is also £3. So we'll put the black one on my top lashes. Let's have a look at the wand. Okay. That is a very basic wand. It is natural bristles, very thin. I don't have much hope, but we'll pop it on. I'm not going to say that it's lengthening. I don't think it does much lengthening. What I will say it does is I do think it separates my lashes quite nicely, which I personally like in a mascara. I like it when it looks like I have 1,000 eyelashes. And it is doing that. Oh, maybe it is lengthening a little bit. I've just put on like the start of a second coat. Maybe it is lengthening a little bit. But I like that it makes me look like I have loads of lashes. So I actually do like the mascara, I just don't think it does what it says it does. If that helps. Now I am, because why not, I am going to pop a bit of this blue mascara on my lower lashes. So this one is slightly different. It's even thinner and it has even smaller bristles. I'm just taking off a bit of the excess because I think there's too much on here. And this scares me. I've never had a blue mascara before, but I'm just going to put this on my lower lash line. Okay, that was quite difficult to do and I didn't breathe throughout the entire process. I actually quite like it. It's very difficult to not get it on your like actual lower lash line. I honestly don't know how people that wear colourful mascara all the time do it because that was terrifying. I do like it. It's not going to become my everyday look. Let's just put that out there. But I do like it. It is fun. It is a nice little pop of colour. And I reckon if I had like a completely neutral eye, having like a pop of colour on the lower lash line would be quite nice. So yeah, I actually don't mind that. Now we'll quickly do this brow and then I'll go off camera and catch up the other eye completely. So this came in the advent calendar and this is the Glossy Fix Clear Gel Mascara. So you do have a brow and a lash end. I'm not going to use the lash end. Even after today I'm not going to use the lash end. And I don't know why I've started talking about this product first because I'm going to use the pencil first, but oh well. Yeah, I never use clear mascara. Let me know if you do, and if you do, let me know why, because I never really understood the reasoning. And this is the Micro Blade Brow. I got the shade Brown. I think they only had 3 shades of this. I was for a minute, I was like, why did I choose brown? But I think it's because they only had 3 shades, and this was the lightest one. So the pencil is £2.50 and the gel is £3. The pencil has a spoolie on one end, and oh, it's not what I was expecting. It's like a tiny little rectangle. I was expecting a normal skinny brow pencil, but it's not. And like I said, they do only have 3 shades of this, hence why I have the shade brown, whereas I would normally go for like a taupe or an ash brown, but this is the lightest one they do. I think they have brown, dark brown, and then like black essentially. That's actually not that bad. I think it's a touch too warm for my natural brow hairs. But I actually don't think it's that bad. I reckon I could get away with this, especially now that my hair isn't as blonde as it used to be. And now I'm just going in with a little bit of the brow gel. The spoolie is very thick. I would prefer like a little bit of a thinner one. Okay, it did its job. Also, the fact that it's in clear packaging, I've now obviously got brow pencil in it, and I'm gonna... Surely it's just gonna ruin the clear gel that's in clear packaging that I'll be able to see every time I use it. Okay. How are we feeling? Let me cover up with this hand. It's not my everyday look. The cool tones, yes. The glitter, no. But what I'm going to do is quickly go off camera and catch up the other eye, and then we'll come back and do a lip. I do have lip pencils and lip sticks. So we'll do that. I'll see you in a moment. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I finished up the look, filmed it, camera did not save it, obviously. That's why I'm now here with a full face of makeup on. And instead of removing it all and starting again, because I was already pretty much done, I'm just going to talk you through what I did. I do have 5 of their Super Fill liners. These all came in the advent calendar last year. The one I've used on my lips is this one, which is called Super. But I also have the shade Babe, the shade Glam, the shade Dream, and the shade Cream. I'm going to keep all of them because I love lip liners. These are £2 each. They only have 6 shades, so basically I have nearly all of them. And I probably would pick up the last one, to be fair, for £2. Lip liner, amazing. It is just a standard pencil that you sharpen. I will swatch it just so you can see what it looks like. It's a bit purpley, and as you can tell I've got a red lip on, but it was the closest one I had because this red was a bit too orangey. But yeah, standard pencil, you sharpen it. It did, like, it wasn't very creamy on the lips at all, and it was a bit patchy, but I might put that down to the fact that it's a very dark shade and not just hate on all of them. It's not the sort of pencil that you can like fill in your entire lips with, just because of how dry and draggy it is on the lips. But it did my lip line really well. You can't really tell because the lipstick took over completely. But I do quite like these. For £2, I don't think they're that bad. I think having cheap lip liners is somewhere you can save money. Spending like £10 on a lip liner isn't necessary at all. And then I have 3 of the, what are these called? Baby lipsticks. I will swatch all of these for you. I have the shade Believe, which is that one there, a nice warm nudie shade. I then have the shade Manifest, which is a nice pinky shade, which I would get loads of use out of. And then the shade that I have on today is Achieve. I like all the names, they're very sweet. But yeah, I went for the red because the other two are a bit too warm for this eye look, and I actually quite like it. They have a beautiful formula, and also these are a bit bigger than I was expecting. I was expecting them to be a bit smaller. If anything, I was expecting them to be like the e.l.f. ones, but they're a lot bigger. So yeah, that's something. I think these are £3 each, which isn't that bad at all. I think they're similar price to the e.l.f. ones. Is this brand meant to be like a rip-off of e.l.f.? It feels like it. I've been comparing their products to a lot of e.l.f. products. Oh well. Yeah. I do like this. I'm not a big fan of the clear packaging, if I'm being completely honest. I just don't like it. But at least I can see what shade it is. The formula, beautiful, glides on, very pigmented, very creamy, feels very lightweight on the lips. My lips look quite nice. It's not a completely matte formula, it does have a bit of a shine to it. It will rub off throughout the day, I will have to reapply it, but I'm taking this makeup off and redoing it anyway before I go out the house. So yeah, on the whole, very happy. Quick rundown of my top 3, and that would be the blush, the eyeshadow, and the highlight. Everything else pretty much is good to like sits in the middle. If I had to pick a bottom 3, it would be the powder, the bronzer, and toss up between the brow gel and the mascara, to be honest. That's not to say that these products will not get used in my collection. They definitely will. I think the only one that wouldn't really get used is the mascara, just because I have other mascaras that I prefer, and this will just get forgotten about in my collection. Don't get me wrong, the blue mascara and the glitter aren't going to get used very often, but I think they have a place in my collection, whereas this mascara, it'll just get passed over every time. Everything was pretty good. Like, even my bottom 3 I still think are good products, particularly for the price. I know I've said that 1,000 times, but I think particularly at the moment with the credit crunch, I know I've said that a lot, but I think at the moment, particularly with like the cost of living crisis and inflation and all this, I think Revolution have skipped over this brand. If they expanded the shade ranges, offered more products but kept the price as low as they are, they could make a fortune. Especially if they promoted it more. I don't see this brand being promoted loads, and it should be, because I think a lot of people are looking for cheaper alternatives at the moment, especially when it comes to non-necessities, and makeup isn't a necessity. I mean, it might be to some people, and it feels like it is to me, but it's really not. So yeah, I reckon if they put more into this brand, expanded the shade ranges, because I think the shade ranges are fine, they just could be better, obviously. Yeah, I reckon if they put a bit more effort into this brand, it could be really, really successful. But yeah, I do like the brand. I have said in previous videos that I'm trying to be a bit more like picky when it comes to my reviews, because I want you guys to have a well-rounded opinion on the products. But genuinely, I think everything I've tested today I would use again. Even the mascara, which I'm starting to realise I don't like the mascara. But it's not terrible. Even the mascara I would use again. If I took that with me, like for example, if I was going home and I packed up a bunch of makeup and I accidentally packed that mascara and no other mascara, I wouldn't rush out to buy a different mascara. I'd just use that one. Like, I know that's a very bare minimum thing to ask of your makeup, but that's how I feel. I genuinely wouldn't rush out and buy another one. I'd just use that. Even if I was there for like a week, 2 weeks, I would just use that mascara. It wouldn't bother me at all. Yeah, so I think that's like the baseline of do I like the product, and I do like all of the products that I tested today. Yeah. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you've tested anything from this brand, please let me know because I want to know your opinions. There are a few more products that I haven't tested. For example, I didn't test the lip liners or the lip oil in this video, and they also have other products, like they have water activated liners that I really want to test just to see if they're any good. So if you want to see me test more from this brand, please let me know. But other than that, I hope you have a great day, an amazing week, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!